So hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to. So we are back with a brand new movie on what if Dark Naruto had heart relation with Ino, but before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin the story. Today is a very depressing day for Konoha, for it is the same day that the Kyuubi attacked 7 years ago. That day many friends and family died, all because of rampaging demon lord. That day is also the birthday of one Uzumaki Naruto. While most kids have presents and cake with family, it was very different for Naruto. On his birthday he was given pain beyond imagining. He was chased through the streets, cornered in alleyways and then tortured by the villagers. Why was he beaten, you ask? The reason he was beaten was because he was the container of the Kyuubi that attacked 7 years. Most thought he didn't know they were wrong. Naruto knew about the Kyuubi, who was a she, and about his parents. He broke into the Hokage's office and read his file. Ever since then he never looked the old man in the eye. But I digress. I was talking about Naruto's birthday and how he was treated. Naruto had been pissed off that day because someone had raided his apartment, again. So against his better judgment he decided to go for a walk and let out some steam in the forest. On his way though he was seen by some drunks. Naruto cursed as he started to run. But once again they cornered him in an alley. He tried to back out but it was too late. The drunks had somehow gathered other civilians and shinobi joined in the fox hunt. "We got you now, demon brat. Yeah, we're going to finish what the fourth started." With the cheers of anger the beating began. Why does this always happen? Naruto's thought was stopped as a wooden bat smashed into his face. As he fell into the mud out of his eye he saw someone. It was an ANBU. The guy was just standing there, watching. Naruto mentally cursed the man and printed his mask to memory. It was a regular dog Anbu mask. Naruto wouldn't have told the difference between others if it wasn't for the silver hair that stood out. Naruto started to get up, only for an shinobi to kick him onto his back. They tied him down and dislocated his limbs so he couldn't move and started to stab him. Most of it was with kunai or broken glass bottles. It continued for about an hour, then one of the villagers spoke. "Let's brand the demon and show him who's in charge." Naruto paled. They wouldn't go that far, would they? In Naruto's mind Kyuubi was scared for her container. The bad part about being sealed in Naruto is the part where she can't do anything to help. All she could do is watch as her kid is tortured in ways that would make veteran shinobi puke. She banged against her cage in anger. "Let me out. I've got to help my kid. Damn you Yandaime. Damn you and your village." The Kyuubi loved Naruto as a mother, for when Naruto was in his mother's own womb she feed him her yuki so that he would have a better chakra and healing in the future. Little did she know that she would be sealed in the very kid she helped her previous container give birth to. And so she cried for the wrongs that were committed against her kid. She cried as how she knew that Kushina would be rolling in her grave at the moment. But mostly she cried because no matter how much pain Naruto was in he never let the seal share the pain with her. So all she could do was watch in the horrors of the village. Outside the seal Naruto was shivering as the hot iron prong got closer and closer. The only thing the villagers did was laugh. Naruto screamed in pain and passed out. Oh. Vivid dream. Naruto fell through the darkness. It felt like he was being pulled through a small pipe, or deep underwater. It was hard for him to explain the feeling. He soon started to flip and then slowly land on a dark platform. Suddenly the platform broke away into 100 crows, revealing the circular disc platform. Below Naruto could see stained glass depictions of weird creatures. Most of the creatures were black and looked like they belonged in the shadows. In the center of the platform was a symbol. A black with red outline heart with the 3 prongs out of the bottom. In the middle of the heart were lines with thorns on them. Naruto stared in confusion. "This is the weirdest dream I've ever had." "I bet it is." Naruto tensed in response to the voice. "Don't be scared, I'm here to help you on your journey. A journey that will shake the very foundations of the world on which you live. Well, if you could please direct me to the nearest exit I'll be very happy." The mysterious voice chuckled. "Well, according to the script I can't let you go yet." "Script? Never you mind. Anyways, I don't think you want to go without the gifts you're about to receive. Gifts that will help you get stronger and protect the few that care for you and future friends." Naruto froze and with a hint of curiosity asked, "I'm listening." "Well, let's begin. Answer me this. What is a heart?" Naruto tilted his head in confusion. "A heart? Yes, what do you think a heart is, and not the organ that is inside your body?" Naruto thought a bit. "A heart is the center of your emotions. Love, hate, fear, anger, and happiness. It is the 3 things that make up a human being." "Very good, young Naruto. A very good observation. Now let me show you a heart." Out of the darkness came a crimson heart. It floated a few meters in front of the boy. It glowed with a deep red color, and small sparks of yellow fell from it every moment or so. This Naruto is a representation of a heart, only you and a few people are able to see them. They float about the world looking for a place to rest. What your people call ghosts are really restless hearts looking for their resting place. Some hearts just don't want to rest, some even look for ways to gain existence again. A unique way for heart to gain existence again is to become a heartless. What's a heartless? Asked Naruto. The boy then watched as the heart in front of him was covered in black and purple energies. The heart then turned into an orb of black and then took form of a small creature. The creature was small, about the height of a large dog. It had a small body with 2 feet. It had 3 claws on its 2 arms and 2 antennae on its head. It had no mouth or nose, just 2 large bright yellow eyes. Naruto had to admit the thing looked kind of weak, but he learned never to underestimate your opponents. This Naruto is a very low-level heartless known as a shadow. There are many kinds of heartless, it all starts with your imagination. But these are some of the few heartless that you will be able to control. Wait, control? You mean I'll be able to collect hearts, turn them into these heartless, and control them? Asked a very intrigued Naruto. That's pretty much it all in a nutshell. Know though that some people view these heartless as beings of evil. What they don't know is that it's a process that helps restless hearts go to purgatory to be judged and then sent to heaven or hell. A person lives then dies, then depending on their life go to heaven or hell. But few hearts can't be judged so easily, so they rest in purgatory until it's their time to be judged. Those that don't want to wait doing nothing have an option of becoming heartless. They then are like your shinobi's summons, they help the main heartless master. Right now there is no heartless master, therefore the higher-ups have decided that you become the new one. With this power over the heartless you will be able to protect those you love and destroy those you dare cross your path. Are there any questions? Yeah, I have just one. I thought that the human is made of 3 things: heart, body and soul. When a person dies, where does the body and soul go if the heat becomes a heartless? The voice laughed. Very good question, young Naruto. The hearts become heartless, the souls becomes what are called nobodies, and the body returns the earth from which it come. Naruto raised an eyebrow. What are nobodies? If Naruto could see the face of the voice he would have seen it smirk. That Naruto is for the future, but before you go I'll give you one more gift. A weapon, to be precise. A weapon that will allow you to unlock the hearts of your defeated enemies and turn them into your heartless. Warning, though, you can only use its power on defeated enemies. Now turn around. The shadow that had appeared before disappeared into the black nothingness that surrounded Naruto. Shrugging his shoulders, Naruto turned around and saw his new weapon. It had a circular guard that went around the handle. The weapon more of a club than a sword, but it did have a spear-like tip with a hook at the end. Dark Riku's keyblade from KH1. The voice wounded again. This Naruto is a keyblade. These weapons are very rare. They have many powerful properties. This keyblade is one that unlocks hearts, but only weakened ones. It can be used as a normal weapon, but its energy is poisonous, so if it draws blood its energy will seep in and poison the enemy. So don't use it for a casual spar. Another special feature is that it can unlock anything. Even that little seal on your stomach. Naruto's eyes widened. Though he couldn't contact Kyuubi, he knew that she would be very happy, but then he stopped. If I do unlock the seal, won't Kyuubi and I die? No, you won't, you'll just get a few of Kyuubi's tails and powers. She will have to be in a different form for a long time, as most of her Yuki will be used to make a new body. So when you free her she will be forced to be in a small fox form for a few years to regain her full power. Sorry, but that's how it will go. Naruto nodded and then reached out and grasped the handle of the keyblade. Just as he took it, black and purple tendrils spread and changed his cloths. Once over, only one thing could be said after what Naruto had gained. The mob looked in satisfaction as they finished branding the Konoha's leaf symbol on Naruto's chest. They cheered and yelled, yet none of the Anbu reported to the Hokage. They had left a while ago. The mob was about to leave before the Hokage came when an eerie voice sounded behind them. What, leaving already? But the fun has just begun. The villagers turned around and gasped at their previous victim. Naruto was in a black and purple outfit, with many zippers for pockets and a zipper for his vest. His shoes were now bulky combat boots, and holding up his pants was a big weird belt with a large symbol of the Heartless. 2 black arm gauntlets, with chest and shoulder armor. A dark purple hood covered his face, but you could see his lifeless blue eyes beneath the darkness. Think an Assassin's Creed uniform, just black and purple with the Heartless crest on the belt instead of the assassins. Naruto's branding and other wounds were completely healed, leaving flawless skin. Naruto then slowly raised his hand to the side and shot out dark energy. The energy came together to form the dark keyblade. The villagers and shinobi were now sweating in fear, just as some were about to flee. When they turned around they saw a wall of darkness blocking their way to safety. The poor bastards never stood a chance. Naruto jumped high over the mob, flipping the key downward. He fell in the middle of the mob. He slammed the key into the ground, dark energies shot out and engulfed the civilians and shinobi. They screamed and cried for mercy, but did Naruto get mercy during his torture? No, so they in return got no mercy. The dark energies inflicted all the pain that Naruto got from them and then some. After its attack was done, all that was left were hearts floating in the air. Naruto held open his palm and slowly the hearts floated over. Naruto placed all the hearts into a special bag that was on his belt. With a small devious smile, Naruto left the alley. If anyone came to the alley afterwards, they would just see a deserted alleyway with piles of dust and small red stains on the ground. Oh, Naruto's mindscape, what the hell just happened? Yelled a very distressed Kyuubi. She had finally been able to make a connection with her son again, and she was mad. Naruto just stood there cleaning out his ears with his pinky finger. Kyuubi's eyes started to twitch. You better not ignore me, kid. You remember what happened last time? Naruto stopped his movements and shuddered. Yeah, he remembered. After ignoring her, she increased his pheromone levels. That caused a horde of rabid fangirls that were chasing Sasuke-kun to change direction. Naruto had never been so scared for his life and his innocence. Well, Ka-san, I was just waiting for you to stop yelling. You know that's bad for your health. Kyuubi just looked at Naruto with a deadpan expression. You do remember I don't have a body, right? Naruto just smirked. For now you don't. What was that? Asked the curious fox. Oh, nothing. But as to what happened, well, let's just say that I gained a few new tricks. With a smug smirk, Naruto made his key appear in his hands. Kyuubi gasped and started to sweat in fear. Kid, do you know what you are holding? Naruto nodded. Yes, I do, and if I'm correct, so do you, Ka-san. Kyuubi, in her giant fox form, gulped. Yes, I do, honey. The weapon that you have in your hand is a tool of great power and destruction. Now, kid, I'm not going to ask how you got it, but I want to know why you got that one in general. Naruto shrugged. I don't know, Ka-san. All I know is that it will give me power over heartless, as they are called. Right now I don't have any, but later I will after working on the hearts I collected. Kyuubi got a horrified look before screaming. No, I won't let darkness control you. I don't want you to become a raging lunatic. You are the only thing I have left in this world. A few tears fell from her eyes. I just don't want to lose you to darkness, my kid. Kyuubi reached out her muscle out of the cage, her nose right in front of Naruto. Naruto smiled and hugged the fox's nose, like trying to hug a big tree. With a big smile he spoke to her. Ka-san, you must remember the philosophy of yin and yang, darkness and light. Ka-san, darkness cannot exist without the light, and goes both ways. Kyuubi pulled back and looked Naruto in the eye as Naruto continued to speak. I have a lot of darkness in my heart, Ka-san, I know that. But I believe that I can find light as well. If I can find a balance in both, I believe that I can accomplish anything. Kyuubi gave a sad smile. Alright, kid, you convinced me. Just promise me you won't make an army of heartless to destroy Konoha. Naruto pouted and blushed. Yes, ma'am, I promise. Kyuubi then gave a sly grin. Also, it's time you to drop your mask, and for the love of Kami, pay attention to the Hyuga girl. I know you feel the same as her, and let's not forget the Yamanaka. Ka-san. Whined Naruto in embarrassment. Kyuubi giggled at her son's misfortune. Naruto pouted, then gave his mother one last hug before vanishing from the mindscape. Kyuubi sighed before laying her head and going back to sleep. Oh, forest of Konoha. Naruto sat in meditation on a stump. In front of him were the fresh hearts that he had collected, each one ready to be given a new existence. Naruto slowly reached out his hand and motioned for the first heart. As it came closer, Naruto brought out the darkness in his heart. He decided to start out small, so he remembered the time when he was kicked out of the orphanage. Channeling his dark emotions into power, he placed his darkness-covered hand onto the heart. The heart jiggled and twitched as the dark energy flowed through it. Once done, Naruto let go and watched as the heart changed into the form of a shadow. The shadow looked at Naruto with blank stare. Not having any facial features really sucked. Naruto smiled and spoke. Since you are the first of many, you shall be my familiar. You will be the one that hides in my shadow, always watching my back. Can I count on you to do that? Nix? The shadow, or Nix, antenna twitched in confirmation. Nix nodded its head and leapt onto Naruto's lap. Naruto just chuckled. You know, for a being of darkness, you sure are adorable. Nix just gave a growl in return. Naruto lifted Nix of his lap and set him on the ground. Nix then, without being told, jumped into Naruto's shadow. Naruto only saw Nix's two yellow eyes for a moment before they disappeared. Naruto smiled. This is going to be fun. Naruto turned to the rest of the hearts and slowly started to make his own little army of heartless. By the end of the day, Naruto had made 15 shadows and 5 soldiers. The soldier was the only heartless Naruto had that were battle-ready. Soldiers were a little bigger than shadows. They had a more built body, sharp red claws and a weird-looking helmet adorned its head. Its movements were that like a shadow, but just more twitchy. The soldiers turned their heads at the slightest sound, always ready to defend their master. Naruto smiled at the progress he had made that day, but he soon realized something. Where was he going to get more hearts? He couldn't just start picking people off the street. No, the old man would find out. Then he came to a solution. He could take out those bandit camps that are always raid villages. And if I play my cards right, I might even get paid for it. Naruto gave a small confident smirk. Yes, that would work out just nicely. Oh. Ninja Academy. Next day, Naruto walked down the halls to his classroom with pride in every step. Today is a special day. Today was the beginning of the ninja graduation exams. The first day was academic and weapons exams. The second day was the taijutsu and genjutsu exams. Finally, the third day was the ninjutsu portion of the test. Naruto planned to show everyone his true strength, well, everything except the heartless. Naruto passed a hall mirror and smirked as he saw his reflection. His body structure had changed a bit after getting the dark keyblade. His hair now had black and dark purple highlights. His baby fat was stripped from his body, leaving 100% muscle. He was smart enough not to wear a tight shirt, otherwise he would have fangirls. So he took a page out of Hinata's book and got a bulky vest. He wore black leather pants that was held up with a nin utility belt. The belt buckle was a dark purple heart with the kanji for 9 on it. His steel-toed combat boots astonishingly didn't make a sound when they stomped the ground. And for the finishing touch, he had tattoos running down his arm. Each tattoo one of the 9 biju. All the beast wear apart, but when Naruto puts the arms together they mixed to make the jubi. Naruto knew this would cause discomfort for people, but he didn't care. If they attacked, all that meant was more hearts for him. He got the idea from his mother. Thankfully he made the tattoos using chakra, so he didn't have to worry about a tattoo artist stabbing him with the needle. But I digress. At the present, Naruto finally made it to the door. On the other side he could hear the arguing and boasting of his peers. Just as he was about to open the door, normally he paused and got an evil smirk. With a snap of his fingers 3 shadows appeared. Quickly telling them his plan, they disappeared from which they came. Rolling his shoulders and taking a deep breath, he grabbed the door handle and ventured. Classroom. Minutes before Hinata Hyuga was nervous. Why, you ask? Well, it was because she didn't see her favorite blonde. Normally she would use her Byakugan to find him, but for some reason she thought it would be a bad idea. While she was waiting, a bunch of voices sounded above all the others. I bet that Baka got lost in his own home looking for the front door. Screeched Sakura. Haruno. Hinata actually got a mean look on her face, and when that happens you know something's about to go down. Ino Yamanaka interjected. I don't know, forehead. I saw him the other day and he was acting differently. His face had a different look. He looked stronger and, dare I say it, handsome. In the back of the class, Hinata's eye twitched in anger. There was a bark of laughter from Kiba Inuzuka. Ha, yeah right, and I'm the emperor of the elemental nations. Hinata's hand was actually twitching near her kunai holster. Thankfully Hinata took a few deep breaths before something bad happened. Shikamaru Nara rose his head. This is all so troublesome. Let me ask you all a question. How would you describe Naruto's image during the time in the academy? Various insults and jokes were made, almost causing Hinata to snap. Once done, the Nara spoke again. Now can someone tell me the most powerful tool a ninja can use? The class was silent in confusion. Then the most logical answer was spoken. Deception. Whispered a calm Shino Aburame. Shikamaru nodded. Next to him Choji Akamichi asked, so you mean that the entire time he's been holding back to trick us? Shikamaru nodded. Correct. I theorize that he is stronger than anyone in this class, even Sasuke. The last and only loyal Uchiha scoffed. That loser will never pass an elite like me. He'll probably die on a D-rank mission. Many snickers were heard. Just as Hinata was about to defend Naruto, the classroom door opened and he walked in. Everyone around the room gaped at the aura that came off the person. Hinata was first to recognize the boy. Naruto-kun. Thud. The boy snickered, then looked around the room. What the fuck you looking at? Almost everyone face planted. Shikamaru chuckled. Good to finally meet you, Naruto Uzumaki. I knew you'd figure it out. You're a Nara after all. So what you think? Asked Naruto, backing up and showing his new look. Shikamaru gave it a calculating eye. Well, I have to say it's a major improvement over the bright orange jumpsuit. Naruto shivered. I hated wearing that thing. Shikamaru noticed his arms. The tattoos though surprise me. Why Biju? Naruto smirked. Well, with your brain I bet you already know the law. Shikamaru nodded with a smirk. The reason is that I just like them. Creatures of unfathomable power, 9 in total. But together they make the Jubi. With that Naruto moved his arms and the tattoos formed the Jubi. Shikamaru blinked. I didn't know there was a Jubi? Naruto nodded. Yep, it's not really common knowledge, but yeah, the Ridoku Sennin had a hand in the thing. That's a story for another time. Hey. Shikamaru and Naruto covered their ears in pain. Naruto looked over to see Sakura trying to act intimidating. Pray tell me why you must screech like a banshee? Sakura's face got red in anger. Raising her fist she yelled. Naruto baka. Just as the fist was inches from his face he caught it without much effort. Naruto slowly gripped the fist applying pressure. Sakura-san, I will only tell you this once. I am not your punching bag any more. At each word he increased the pressure till she was on her knees whimpering, failing to pull her fist out of Naruto's grip. Around the room many reactions were found. All the commotion was stopped when their sensei walked in. Naruto though had evil smile on as he signaled the 3 hidden shadows. The shadows moved silently, being extra careful as to not be detected by anyone. The first 2 went under the teacher's desk while the other one went under the tiles of the room. Each one of the shadows waited for their master to give them the signal. Iruka smiled at everyone. Good morning, class. Many mumbles and yawns were heard. A tick appeared on Iruka's head. I said, good morning, class. Yelled the enlarge-headed teacher yelled. Every student stood up at attention. Good morning, Iruka-sensei. Iruka smirked. I still got it, Sakura whore. I mean Haruno raised her hand. Iruka-sensei, where's Mizuki-sensei? Everyone in the class noticed it too. The silver-haired Chunin was nowhere to be found. Naruto was the only one to frown at this. He had always suspected the Chunin was rotten. He decided then he'd check it out after the exams. Iruka smiled. Don't worry, Sakura. Mizuki just wasn't feeling well today. He said he'll be back tomorrow though. Iruka walked over to his desk and before he sat down he saw something wrong with his chair. There was a bulge on the seat. Iruka smirked. He lifted the chair seat to reveal a simple whoopee cushion. He picked it up and showed it to the class, mostly looking at Naruto. Naruto just smiled and waved at Iruka. Naruto, you must be losing your touch if you have to resort to the old whoopee cushion trick. Many sinkers were heard, but for some reason Naruto just gave an most evil of grins. The 2 girls next to him, Hinata and Ino, were confused. That was until Iruka sat down on his chair. There was a burst of smoke and a coughing from the teacher's desk. When the smoke cleared to reveal a most amusing sight. Iruka was in a clown suit, complete with red rubber nose, rainbow afro, big rubber shoes, and lots of makeup. The whole room was silent. That was until Kiba screamed like a little girl and fainted. The room burst forth with laughter and mirth. 1. The clown suit on Iruka was ridiculous. 2. Now they all knew that Kiba was afraid of clowns. 3. When Iruka tried to get up he slipped on a banana peel and fell face first into a key lime pie that appeared on the floor. The poor teacher grumbled and blushed at the embarrassment. He knew from laughter coming from the administration building that the Hokage had seen the entire thing through the stupid crystal ball of his. He sighed and looked at his students and he too started to laugh with them. He had to admit it was a good prank. After the laughter died down Iruka spoke up. All right, settle down. Now I don't have any proof or idea as to who did this. Cough Naruto cough. But whoever did it is lucky it is the exams, otherwise they might have had detention for the rest of the year. Naruto smiled and by using a single hand sign under his desk he dispelled the genjutsu over his favorite teacher. After finding himself free of the clown suit Iruka went and handed out the written part of the exams. The written test itself lasts 20 minutes, but Naruto finished in 5. After he was done he laid his head down on his desk and just relaxed. Pretty boring, don't you think, Kit? Commented the boy's surrogate mother. Naruto just shrugged. It could be worse. Ka-san, the questions on the test could have to do with the civilians of the village. Even Kyuubi winced at that. Stupid civilians. Okay, pencils down. Now everyone follow me to the training area for the weapons test. During this time your test will be graded. As everyone followed Iruka outside, Naruto was contemplating on whether or not to show off. Naruto-kun, how did you get those tattoos? Naruto was shaken from his thoughts by Ino's question. Well, Ino-chan, I made these tattoos with ink and chakra. What I want kept secret is that the tattoos are also special seals that help me train. Ino's was surprised. Naruto-kun, why did you put up a mask to fool everyone? Asked a very concerned Hinata. Naruto sighed. The reason was for survival. You have to understand, Hinata-chan, that I'm not that liked in the village. Most people hate me, and if they saw me getting stronger, who knows what they might do. Ino and Hinata nodded in understanding and sadness. Beat that dope, said a smug Sasuke. The three talking students were interrupted as Sasuke, king of the brood, walked in on their talking time. Naruto just looked at him like Sasuke just grew a second head. What are you talking about, eek? The class was silent at the implications of the statement. Is Sasuke actually gay? Was the thought of many. Well, except one, Cha. That loser dare say such things about Sasuke-kun? I'll pummel him, Shanaru. Guess who? Sasuke's face turned red with anger. I'm talking about the Kunai test, you moron. Naruto smiled. Whatever, Sasuke. Many snickered at the insult while some turned green due to mental images. The only retort Sasuke gave was, HN. Alright, that's enough. Shouted a very irritated and disturbed Iruka. Let's get on with the test. Naruto, you're up. The foe-mentioned boy got up and went to the marked starting point. Looking at the targets, Naruto sighed. Seriously, only 25 feet? Naruto shrugged and threw the weapons. Same one, Kunai. The thrown ones hit all the 8 vital points, and one right at the family jewels. Naruto smirked. Iruka gave a large smile. Good job, Naruto, that's a full 150 point right there. That puts you at the top of the class. But what are you going to do with the last kunai? Naruto smirked, then he started channeling darkness into the kunai. The kunai darkened from its regular shiny metal. Naruto threw the weapon. It flew through the air with incredible speed, leaving behind a small purple airstreak. Just as the kunai hit the practice dummy, it exploded in black and purple energy. The class was stunned. It took a full 10 minutes before Iruka picked up his jaw. Naruto, what was that? Naruto gave a maniac grin. Trade secret, Iruka-sensei. Though I believe I get extra credit for adding a sort of energy to the kunai, do I not? Iruka nodded and added the credit and smiled. Congratulations, Naruto, you broke the previous records. The previous records was held by Itachi Uchiha. Good job. As soon as Sasuke heard that, he almost exploded. His blood boiled in anger. Naruto, you will be my first stepping stone to kill Itachi. After I kill you, I'll be one step closer to my dream. Poor delusional fool. Iruka yelled. Okay class, tomorrow we will have the taijutsu and genjutsu part of the exams. Don't be late. Oh, later that day, Hokage office. Knock knock knock. Come in, declared the tired Hokage. He was surprised when Naruto walked in. Normally Naruto would barge in and yell. Something was up. What can I do for you, Naruto-kun? Naruto smiled. Well, first thing, you can tell your Anbu guards to leave. What I want to talk about is very sensitive. Hiruzen studied Naruto for a few seconds before snapping his fingers, signaling his Anbu to leave. But Naruto looked disturbed. I said all of them. What about that one behind the bookcase? Hiruzen stiffened. He didn't put up any Anbu behind the bookcase. He scowled and jumped from his set, ready for battle. The fake Anbu jumped from behind the bookcase and with Junin speed launched for the window. There was a snap of fingers and then the Anbu was stopped by 3 soldiers. The Anbu stared in horror as the creatures launched themselves at him, spinning like crazy. The soldiers' red claws shred the fake Anbu's clothing and caused lacerations to appear. The Anbu dropped to the floor in pain. Naruto nodded to the soldiers and the creatures vanished into the realm of darkness. aka Rod. With their prize. Hiruzen looked at Naruto with a scowl. Naruto, would you be so kind as to tell what those creatures were, and how they seemed to follow your every order? Naruto signaled the Hokage to sit down. Well, first thing is they are called heartless. They are made from the manifestations of hearts. Not the organ but the emotions that make up a heart. With my new powers I can turn those hearts into these creatures. Don't worry, I have complete control over them. Hiruzen was nervous. Where did they take the imposter? Naruto smiled. They went to the Rod. It's a new place I found thanks to them. There I can train for a week and yet at only 1 hour in real time. Not to mention it doesn't affect my age. But that's besides the point. The reason I here is to ask about what team am I going to be on. Hiruzen took out a folder from his desk and said, well, I was planning on putting you with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Hiruzen was confused when Naruto just chuckled. Have you gone senile, old man? I and Sasuke hate each other's guts, and Sakura will always follow Sasuke, therefore we wouldn't work as a team. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Hiruzen scratched his head. But Hitaki Kakashi said that you and Sasuke would form a rivalry and that you liked Sakura. So I thought. Naruto shook his head. Old man, from now on you look at the students yourself. Because you will always get a biased opinion when you ask who wants who on their teams. Now if you ask me, I think I'll do good with Hyuga Hinata and Yamanaka Ino. Now the third was really confused. There has never been a 2 kunoichi and 1 shinobi team before. Usually it makes the team weaker. He stopped when Naruto sent him a small glare. Are you being sexist, old man? All over the village respectable kunoichi had the sudden want to kick the Hokage in the sack. While Hiruzen felt a shiver go down his spine. No, it's just that usually kunoichi are usually support fighters. Naruto nodded. Well, old man, with my heartless my team would be the best team ever. And if you let my team go to bandit camps I can collect more dark hearts and increase the number of my heartless. Think of this, a whole different division that reports only to you and me. And according to my Ka-san the heartless are like summons, just better. Hiruzen rose an eyebrow. Your Ka-san? Naruto twiddled his fingers. My Ka-san is Kyuubi. Naruto plugged his ears just before Hiruzen exploded. What? Naruto, you must not listen to it, it is a being of evil. Naruto's ki filled the room and his eyes became a solid dark golden color. How dare you talk about my Ka-san that way? Hiruzen started to shiver, it felt like death was upon him. Kid, calm down. You're killing him, yelled Kyuubi from within Naruto's mind. The ki disappeared just as fast as it came. Naruto took deep breaths, while Hiruzen's heart started working again. I'm sorry, old man, it's just Kyuubi is like a mother to me. She kept me safe, she healed me, kept me warm in the winter. She even was able to keep the nightmares away. She helped my biological mother give birth to me. While I was in the womb, she fed me her yuki and made me a hanyu. She is in a weird way as my mother. So please don't insult her, she's my most precious person. Hiruzen sighed. Okay Naruto, if you trust her then so will I now. Before you said that the heartless are like summons? How so? Naruto nodded. Well, you see there are many types of heartless, some small and some that can rival boss summons. Just there are more in number. There is one I want to make that really interested me. It's called the Storm Rider, but I have to find a really dark heart to make it. Hiruzen looked in deep thought. So you can make these, heartless out of hearts, of corrupt people? Naruto nodded. And the more you have the bigger your army, of heartless get? Naruto got a little nervous on how the Hokage was wording it. Old man, I promise on my family name that none of the heartless will ever attack Konoha. They will be the protectors of the shadows. I'll even make your own personal heartless guard if you want. Hiruzen thought a bit before relenting. Alright Naruto, you have your team, but when do you think your heartless numbers will be able to show the world and protect the village? Because with the heartless protecting the village we will be able to send out more shinobi on more missions. Naruto thought about it. I say half a year or more, it depends on the number of dark hearts I can find. Hiruzen nodded. Alright, you have my permission, just make sure that you train yourself as well and not depend on the heartless to fight for you. Hi, I will thank you, old man. And with that Naruto opened a dark portal and disappeared. Hiruzen leaned back in his desk. With this Konoha really will be the strongest, I just hope Danzo doesn't get wind of this. I'm sorry Naruto, but without the Bunshin no Jutsu I'm not allowed to pass you, said a sad Iruka. Naruto had gotten perfect scores on everything, but some moron had made it so the basic clone was mandatory. Either that or another Kyuubi hater was out to get the boy. Naruto closed his eyes and took deep breaths to control his bubbling anger. Mizuki looked at Iruka. Come on Iruka, this is the third time Naruto's taken the test. This time at least he made a clone that didn't blow up. Iruka sadly shook his head. No Mizuki, I will not disobey orders, no matter how much I hate it. I'm sorry Naruto. Naruto didn't say a word. A portal opened behind him and he left. Mizuki gave an evil grin. Wonderful, now all I have to do is trick the demon brat into taking the scroll. Then I'll kill him and make my way to Orochimaru. Oh, realm of darkness. Naruto took his key and knocked away another dark spider. Contrary to popular belief, heartless weren't the only ones able to go throughout the rod. In the realm many monsters and creatures roamed attacking and eating anything that caught their attention. Naruto had spent 3 months in, while in the real world it had only been 3 hours. Naruto usually came to the realm of darkness to blow off some steam. Like at the moment fending off a horde of dark spiders. Large spiders filled with darkness. Recently though the creatures had been getting more aggressive. Ever since Naruto and his heartless had entered, he and his heartless soon took command of his section of the rod. But what really made Naruto smile was that he could find a lot of hearts in the rod. Though they weren't strong hearts, they still made some useful heartless. Thanks to that, Naruto's heartless had grown in size by the hundreds. At the moment he had about 200 shadows, 145 soldiers, 50 large bodies, 25 red nocturnes, 30 blue rhapsodies, 20 yellow operas, 15 green requiems, and 3 new ones called search ghosts. Large bodies were very large heartless, but clumsy. They had strong arms and impenetrable front bellies. But their backs were their weakness, not that they'll tell anybody. The red nocturnes were flying little things that could shot fireballs at high speeds. The blue rhapsodies and yellow operas were the same, only they shot out ice and called lightning. The green requiems were actually healers of the heartless family. But they were very hard to make. The new search ghosts were Naruto's new spies, able to turn invisible, pass through walls, and transfer information to anyone it touches. At the moment Naruto had two traveling the elemental nations gathering information, while he had the last one looking around the village. But let's get back to the present. Naruto opened another portal after destroying the last shadow creature. He appeared at the academy entrance. He sat down on a swing and waited for the traitor. Oh yes, Naruto knew about Mizuki's plan thanks to his search ghost. So all he had to do was look stupid and act, then he could get a really dark heart. It wasn't long before the stupid silver-haired idiot appeared and talked about a secret test that a failed student could do to pass. Naruto had to resist the urge to roll his eyes as the traitor left with a happy grin on his face. Naruto called upon his single search ghost in the village to go and give the information to the Hokage. Luckily the Hokage knew to look for the heartless crest on the heartless, or he would take it as a rouge one. Anyways, after the Hokage replied and approved of Naruto's plan, the heartless master went into action. He waited until nightfall and then using his portal appeared in the Hokage's office where the Hokage was waiting. The Hokage gave Naruto a rare mischievous smile and gave a abridged copy of the Forbidden Scroll. The Hokage only put in semi-safe jutsu that Naruto would be able to use. Oh, old shed in the middle of the forest. Naruto waited for Mizuki for about half an hour. It didn't take Naruto long to master the Shadow Clone Explosion, and the only genjutsu that Naruto could use, Bringer of Darkness technique. So he just leaned against the shed as he waited. Luckily it didn't take him long, as Mizuki jumped into the clearing in mediocre battlesuit, plus 2 giant shuriken. What Naruto expected though was for Iruka-sensei to also jump into the clearing yelling at him. "Naruto, do you have any idea what you've done?" shouted a very worried Iruka. Mizuki stayed back in the shadows for now. He thought that the darkness would be his ally. Stupid Mizuki. Naruto gave a bored expression and told Iruka, "I'm waiting for a traitor, and you being here has blown the entire operation. Congratulations Iruka, you just interfered in a rank mission." Iruka looked shocked. At that Mizuki decided to make his appearance. "So you knew that I was tricking you?" Naruto frowned. "No, it was the other way around." Naruto's eyes flashed golden yellow. "I was tricking you." Mizuki was shocked by the eyes but shrugged off as a demon thing. Then speaking of demons. "You think you know everything, Naruto? Well, I bet you don't know why everyone in the village hates you." In Naruto's head Kyuubi voiced, "Oh, this will turn out nicely." Naruto mentally laughed at the sheer stupidity and outdated the dumbass was. Naruto acted curious. "Oh, do you know why they hate me?" Mizuki gave an evil chuckled. "Why, I do believe I do. They hate you for." He was cut off as Iruka shouted, "No Mizuki, it's forbidden." Mizuki growled at Iruka. "Silence, you fool, or have you forgotten how he killed your parents?" Iruka yelled back, "It is you who is a fool. If you tell him you will be killed on the spot." Mizuki ignored Iruka and looked back at Naruto. "The reason that they all hate you, Naruto, is because on the date of your birth the Kyuubi attacked. But what you and the younger generation don't know is that the Kyuubi wasn't killed." "Stop, Mizuki." But the traitor just threw a few shuriken, pinning Iruka to the shed wall. "Be quiet and let me finish. Now you're wondering what happened to the Kyuubi." Naruto almost laughed at the moron. The blonde decided to humor the traitor. "Where is the Kyuubi if it wasn't killed?" Mizuki laughed. "The beast was put into a human baby form. That baby was you, Naruto. You are the Kyuubi no Kitsune?" Both Mizuki and Iruka looked at Naruto waiting for how the boy would react. They were both surprised when he asked, "Can you get even more stupid than you already are?" "I already know about the Kyuubi, you dumbass, and for your information she is sealed within me. I am not her." Iruka was first to catch it. "Wait, did you say her?" Naruto barked a quick laugh. "Of course it's female. If it was male, during the attack one good jutsu to the balls and he would surrender." Kyuubi was laughing in her cage. Just imagining that happening to a male version of her was funny. Iruka and Hiruzen, who was looking through the crystal ball, sweat dropped at the logic that Naruto used. Mizuki was taken out of his stupor as dark and purple energy was gathering at Naruto's feet. Naruto gave a spin-chilling laugh. "And now for breaking the law, Mizuki, you will be killed. But your existence will not end there. No, you will be turned into a creature under my command." The energies covered Naruto and left a second later to reveal Naruto in his outfit. Assassin's Creed uniform, only black and purple with the heartless crest as a belt. Next to appear was the darkness key. Naruto took advantage of Mizuki's shock and attacked with the key. It was poised to pierce Mizuki's chest, but the silver hair shinobi dodged at the last moment. Mizuki stammered, What is that thing? Naruto flashed his eyes golden yellow again. This? Well, this Mizuki is a keyblade. A weapon of great power and possible destruction. Now I'm only telling you this because in about 10 seconds you'll be dead. Naruto charged again. Mizuki panicked. Stay away from me, you freak. He took off his first giant shuriken and threw it. Naruto used one of the many spells he learned from his ki. Reflega. A glittering dome formed around Naruto. The shuriken hit the dome only to fly backward towards Mizuki. The shuriken took off Mizuki's left arm upon its return. Mizuki dropped to his knees clutching the bleeding stump, what remained of his arm. Curse you, demon spawn. Curse you to hell. Naruto kicked Mizuki in the face and pined him to the ground by stepping on his only good arm. Any last words, Mizuki baka? Mizuki just spat in Naruto's face. Naruto wiped it off and then poised the dark ki above Mizuki. Then faster than you can say, oh shit, the ki pierced Mizuki's body, all the way to the heart. Unseen by other eyes, a large darkness-filled heart floated to Naruto. Naruto put out his hand and grabbed the heart and looked at it with a smile. Yes, you'll do nicely. Nicely indeed. Oh. Hokage's office, congratulations on graduating the academy, Naruto. And also good job on being the first rookie genin to complete a rank mission, said Hiruzen to Naruto. The boy bowed to show respect and said his thanks. Then the old man took out a custom-made headband. In regards to the Heartless, I've made this personalized headband just for you. Naruto looked at his new headband. It was like any other, but it had a jet black silk cloth and the Heartless crest hidden within the Konoha crest on the purple-tinted metal plate. Naruto looked at the Hokage. Thank you, old man. The Hokage smiled, then remembered something. Oh, also Naruto, thanks to that root Anbu you gave us, we were able to gain a lot of information on Danzo. For that I've transferred a large sum of money to your account. Naruto smiled. Anytime, old man. Now if there is nothing else you need me for? Hiruzen shook his head. No, there's not. Thank you for all your hard work, Naruto-kun, you may leave. Now remember to be at team placements by next week. Naruto nodded, bowed and left via portal. Oh. Realm of Darkness. Naruto looked at the darkness that filled Mizuki's heart. Naruto focused a lot of darkness energy into the heart. Soon it started to take shape. The heart grew 5 times its size, then split into 6 parts. 4 of them were equal in size, the 2 others were small and very large. Each part took on a dark purple coat and then formed into their desired form. 2 formed into large arms with yellow bands with 4 claw-like fingers on each hand. Another 2 turned into very large armored feet, they too had yellow bands on them. The biggest part formed into the body of the Heartless, complete with crest and almost hourglass form. The smallest part took the form of a helmet with multiple eye holes. All these parts were floating around together. Naruto smiled at his first vice captain class Heartless. The guard armor was what Naruto dubbed the new Heartless. Naruto trained with the Heartless the rest of the day, learning that the armor had many attack modes and even energy cannon form. Late that night Naruto went up the Hokage monument and watched the stars. He smiled when he felt 2 familiar people watching him. Both of them belonged to females. Hinata Hyuga and Ino Yamanaka. He smirked as he commanded his shadows to let them know that Naruto knew that they were watching him. Both girls shouted in surprise when the shadows pushed them into the clearing before disappearing. Naruto got up and walked over to them. Good evening, ladies. Naruto gave each a kiss on the hand, but his smile was short-lived when he saw lightning shoot between their eyes. Naruto frowned and warned them, now none of that, if you two can't get along then neither of you can have me. I am not an object for you two to fight over like little kids. Understood? Both of them lowered their heads in shame and nodded. Now onto a more happy note, I'm glad to say that the Hokage has allowed us to be on the same team. Ino perked up, really? But how do you know this? Hinata was giddy with happiness, but she too was curious. Naruto smiled. Well, at first Ino was going to be on Choji and Shikamaru's team. Ino groaned, not that I don't like them, they're great friends and all. But they wouldn't train seriously. Naruto nodded and looked at the shy lavender-eyed princess. You would have been with Shino and Kiba. Hinata paled, she hated Kiba. He was always trying to force himself on her. If they were on the same team, who knows what would happen. Luckily I've got the Hokage to agree for us to be on the same team. But before we can do all that I must tell you a few things about myself. Certain things that may frighten you. Now I will explain everything, but I don't want any interruptions. Both nodded and then Naruto went on to tell them about the Kyuubi, how she was seal in him, how she was a mother to him. He even went on to tell them about his parents. They gasped every now and then, but they never showed fear or anger at him. They did show anger at the villagers though. Ino was more vocal at it, while if you looked closely you could see a twitch in Hinata's cheek muscles. At the end Naruto asked, "So now that you know the truth, what will you do? Will you be like the villagers and hate me? Or will you be some of the few precious people I have?" Both girls thought hard and took turns replying. Ino talked first. "I know I've been a literal bitch in the past. But if you want to know the truth, I've always had a crush on you. No matter what happened to you, you always came back with a smile. I know that you're not the Kyuubi, though now I've heard Kyuubi from your point of view. I wish to thank her for keeping you safe. I'm completely horrified by the way the villagers have treated you, and I hope in time I'll become one of your precious people, Naruto-kun." Hinata gave a smile. "To tell the truth, Naruto-kun, I've known about Kyuubi-san for a while. My father warned me about you when he saw me taking an interest in you. The day he gave me the third warning was a turning point in my position in the Hyuga clan. You see, you gave me courage to actually stand up to my father and say no. I've admired you for so long, and that admiration turned to love, ever since you saved me from those bullies that one day. I don't care if I have to leave the Hyuga clan, I want to be by your side forever. Even if it means I have to share you with another." The last part caught Naruto and Ino by surprise. Naruto thankfully changed the subject by bringing up the heartless. When Naruto summoned Nyx, who had grown a little bit, the two girls squealed and hugged the pureblood heartless. After a long explanation, both girls accepted the heartless, while in their minds they both promised to be the light that Naruto would need in the coming days. "Now girls, during our time as a team we will be taking on a lot of bandit camps. That means you might see some of the dark side of humanity. I just want to warn you, but for now it's time for me to walk you ladies home. It's getting dark." After walking them both home and getting a kiss on the cheek from both, Naruto entered his apartment in a daze. He flopped on his bed and said, "My life seems to be getting better, thanked Kami. Time to wake up, kid," whispered Kyuubi into Naruto's mind. Kyuubi was the one that always woke Naruto in the morning. It was a little ritual that they kept together for years. Naruto moaned a bit before getting up and doing his morning tasks. Taking a shower, brushing his teeth, putting on clean clothes. But I bet the readers of this story don't want to hear about that. Though I also bet a few fangirls are dreaming of a showering, naked, Naruto as I write this. Anyways, after Naruto got a bite of toast, he made his way to the academy. Somewhere dark. Danzo Shimura was an old warhawk and a rival of the Sandame. He went against many of the teachings of his deceased sensei. He believed that shinobi were tools, especially those that were containers for a biju. He believed the ultimate shinobi should cut off all emotions. Danzo was a dirty bastard for sure. He had an Anbu program he called Root. Though the Yondaime told him to disband it, Root was still operational. Danzo would steal promising children from orphanages to be placed through his program, where their emotions would be literally beaten out of them. At the moment though, Danzo was worried. One of his agents had gone missing. The agent he had ordered to spy on Hiruzen. The agent never showed up to report as usual. After a few hours of waiting, he concluded that the agent had been caught. He could only hope the Root member had taken the suicide pill that was hidden on all of his Root. He had recently sent out a few Root to try and find the missing shinobi. As if on cue, a Root member appeared before him kneeling toward his master. "Report," Danzo commanded with a sharp voice. "Danzo-sama, we've found that Agent Rat was captured and is, as we speak, being held in the T&I department. Luckily they were not able to break the seal on his tongue." "Did you find out how he was caught?" asked the withered old man. "Yes, sir. According to the reports, the Kyuubi container was the culprit. The boy had gotten an audience with the Sandame, and he asked all Anbu to vacate the room. Our agent stayed to try and find out what the container wanted. The Kyuubi container somehow noticed Agent Rat was still there and alerted the Sandame. In the report it said that the Sandame knocked Rat out, but something didn't add up. When I saw Rat in his cell, I saw he had various lacerations that predate him being tortured by Ibiki." Danzo narrowed his eyes. "Did you dispose of Agent Rat?" The Root operative nodded his head, and gave a scroll to Danzo. The scroll contained the head of the now deceased Root Agent Rat. Danzo nodded his head. "Good. Call off all other operatives that are spying in the village at the moment. We have to stay low for a while." The agent gave a quick nod before vanishing into the shadows. Danzo, on the other hand, just went back to his desk and started to go over his other reports. What neither Danzo nor his lackey noticed was a search ghost spying on them from the corner of the room. T&I department, what do you mean he's dead?" roared Ibiki. The Anbu that had been ordered to watch the Root prisoner quivered before Ibiki. Even though he was Anbu, almost everyone feared the head torturer's wrath. "Forgive me, Ibiki-senpai, I was knocked out by odorless gas. When I regained my wits, I found the prisoner with his head gone." Ibiki cursed. Not many knew it, but even with a prisoner dead they could still get info. Inoichi Yamanaka was one of the few of his clan that mastered all his clan's jutsu. Meaning that even with a dead body, as long as the brain was intact they could get information. Ibiki growled and turned to another Anbu. Get a team of trackers and try to find out who did this. Though I doubt you'll find anything, it's better than doing nothing. Ibiki sighed. Now I have to inform the Hokage. Just great. Academy. The next 2 days of the graduation exams were fairly easy. Thankfully the only major thing that happened was Ino beating the crap out of Sakura in the taijutsu portion of the exams. Everything else was fairly boring. So we now come to the day where the ones that passed are put into teams of 3. In the class everyone was doing something. Well, almost everybody. Sasuke was brooding like always. Sakura and the other fangirls just worshipped the angst-filled Uchiha. Shikamaru was sleeping. Choji was eating chips. Shino was quietly talking to his hive. The other nameless males were doing very little. But unknown to the majority something was about to happen. Up in the corner of the room, one Kiba Inuzuka was harassing young Hinata. Sadly Ino nor Naruto was there to help her. As such she was scared for her life. Kiba-san, please stop, I have no interest in you. Stuttered the young Hyuga. Once again I am not typing out Hinata-chan's stutter. Kiba ignored her words. Come on Hinata-chan. You can do so much better than that dope Naruto baka. I mean you're the Hyuga heiress, and he's nothing than the bastard son of a street hooker. Why lower yourself to the likes of him? Hinata froze in shock. She never thought that Kiba would say such words. Even though he was a prick, she never thought he would insult another person's parents. If Kiba pushed any more she might just juken the boy's family jewels. Kiba didn't notice Hinata's body movements and just continued to rant. Me on the other hand, I'm the heir of the Inuzuka clan. One of the founding clans of Konoha. Not to mention I am more good-looking, stronger, faster, and smarter than that stupid dope. Hinata actually snarled. Just as she was about to juken his ass, a fist slammed into Kiba's face, sending the dog boy across the room. The entire class silenced as Kiba smashed into the teacher's desk. Everyone looked back to the source to see a pissed-off Naruto. The first thing one would notice was Naruto's now solid golden glowing eyes. There was one student that saw something else wrong with Naruto. Shikamaru, due to his family's jutsu, noticed that Naruto's shadow was rippling. He could have sworn he saw the same golden eyes that Naruto had hidden in the shadow. You have a lot of nerve, Inuzuka. First you force yourself on Hinata-chan. Then you insult my parents. You are 1 inch away from getting a Class A ass kicking. Kiba got up from the wrecked wooden desk. Not like you can do anything, street urchin. Why don't you go back to the red light district where you belong? The only reason you're even in the academy is because you sucked up to the Hokage and licked his boots. It took a lot of Naruto's self-control not to order his heartless to attack the canine-like boy. Off to side, if one were to look, they would see Kiba's partner Akamaru whimpering at the aura that Naruto was giving off. Another thing that was going on was Sasuke getting angry. Why was the emo angry, you ask? Well, it's because the Uchiha thought that Naruto's golden eyes was a dujutsu. Sasuke was angry because Naruto had activated his jujutsu before he himself could. But now that the author thinks about it, no one really cares what the emo boys thinks. For all the author cares, the emo boy should drop dead and die. Now the author realized what he is adding to the story and is face palming at the moment. Sorry, let's get back to the story. Kiba, you better watch your mouth before I get a muzzle for it, growled Naruto. The tension in the room was growing by the second. Once again Kiba laughed. As if you could do anything dead last. The argument was interrupted by Iruka, who entered the room. That's not true anymore, Inuzuka. Thanks to Naruto's scores on his tests he is now in the upper tier of the class. You on the other hand, due to your horrid written test scores, is now at the bottom, only beaten by Shikamaru. So the dead last at the moment is not Naruto but you. Most of the class broke into laughter as Kiba flushed red in anger and embarrassment. Naruto smirked and pulled Hinata and Ino into some seats. Kiba snarled as he picked up Akamaru and walked to the last open seat. Iruka stood in front of the class with a smile. Now before I put you into your teams, I would like to congratulate every one of you on becoming shinobi of Konohagakure. I wish all of you the best of luck and hope you all bring honor and glory to our village. Now Team 7 will be Sakura Haruno. The pink-haired fangirl crossed her fingers in hope to be placed in Sasuke's team. Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura jumped for joy. Yes, true love wins. Take that, Ino pig. All the other fangirls cried in frustration, while Ino just ignored Sakura. And Kiba Inuzuka, your guy's Junin will be Kakashi Hitaki. Kiba growled as he now saw that he would not have the chance to get Hinata. Sasuke just grunted and continued to stare out the classroom window. Team 8 will be Shikamaru Nara, Shino Aburame, and Choji Akamichi. Your team leader will be Asuma Sarutobi. Warning to you guys, Asuma is an addicted smoker. Shikamaru just snored while Choji continued to eat. Shino on the other hand looked irritated, probably because his insects don't like smoke. Team 9 will be Naruto Uzumaki, Hinata Hyuga, and Ino Yamanaka. Your team leaders are Anko Midarashi and Kurenai Yuhi. Sasuke jumped up in anger. Why does the dope and his team of losers get two Junin to teach them? Iruka was about to answer but was interrupted as a kunai appeared and cut Sasuke's cheek. The young Uchiha flinched as he was pulled into a hold and he felt something warm against his cheek where he was cut. The person that held Sasuke gauged after taking a sample of the boy's blood. Yuck. Worst blood ever tasted, just like any other stuck-up pricks. Sasuke slowly turned his head to see a purple-haired woman with a crazed look in her eyes. The woman was dressed scantily and was not ashamed to flaunt her body, which made Kiba drool. The two's interaction was interrupted by another woman that entered the room. Anko. You promised not to scare the students. The woman behind Sasuke, now identified as Anko, turned to the other woman. But Nai-chan, I only promised not to scare our students. You never said anything about the other Gakis. The lady at the door grumbled and rubbed the bridge of her nose. Just forget it, Team 9 with me. Meet us up at Training Ground 69. She then left along with Anko. But before Anko left she giggled and whispered with a perverted smile, Hee 69. Naruto, Ino and Hinata looked confused at Anko's statement but shrugged it off and decided just to follow instructions. It wasn't until after Team 9 left that the fangirls remembered that Anko had cut Sasuke. They went on a rant about how Anko was crazy for hurting Sasuke. Sasuke on the other hand was frozen stiff, not able to think. Everyone didn't really give a shit. Oh, Training Ground 69. Okay, let us all get to know each other starting with our names, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and goals for the future and all that crap. Groaned Anko. The other woman sighed at her friend's antics. How about we go first, Anko? The woman turned to their potential students. My name is Kurenai Yuhi Junin of Konoha. I like my friends, mostly Anko, genjutsu, and tea parties. I abhor perverts in the book series, Icha Icha Paradise. My hobbies include learning new genjutsu and reading romance novels. My goal for the future is to train you three to the best of my abilities. You're next, Anko. Anko grumbled as she finished off the last of her dango, which she got out of somewhere. My name is Anko Midarashi and don't you forget it, Gakis. I like my friends, mainly Nai-chan, dango, torturing my enemies, dango, and training in the forest of death. Oh, did I mention dango? Everyone besides Anko sweat dropped at Anko's love of dango. I dislike traitors, open perverts, and a certain silver-haired jerk. My hobbies are working at the T&I department, spending time at dango stands and teasing Nai-chan. My goal for the future is to kill my traitor of a teacher and be free of his control. She whispered the part of her goal but Team 9 was able to hear it. Kurenai turned Ino and motioned for her to go first. My name is Ino Yamanaka. I like my friends, Hinata and Naruto. I also like flowers and working on my family's jutsu. I dislike those who would harm my friends and the fact that I was once a fangirl. My hobbies are working at my family's flower shop and spending time with Naruto and Hinata. My goal for the future at the moment is to become a strong and get together with the one I love in the future. Both Anko and Kurenai saw Ino blush as she looked at Naruto after ending her introduction. Anko smirked while Kurenai just waved to Hinata. Luckily thanks to spending time with Naruto and Ino she had come far in speaking without a stutter. My name is Hinata Hyuga. I like my friends, Naruto, Ino, eating cinnamon buns and spending time with my little sister and training. I dislike the way my family is run and the caged bird seal that separates the clan. My hobbies are mostly training and spending time at the hot springs. My goal is to stop the use of the seal in my family, become clan head and spend the rest of my life with the one I love. When the Junin saw that both girls blush at Naruto they had different thoughts. Anko was plotting on how to tease and corrupt the girls, while Kurenai was thinking about making sure that Naruto didn't become a pervert and break the girls' hearts. Naruto, seeing that he was the last one, started to speak about himself. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like my friends, Hinata-chan and Ino-chan, and finally ramen. I dislike that almost everyone in the village hates me for something that was not in my control and that a Hokage's dying wish seems to mean nothing these days. Anyways, my hobbies include gardening, training and pranking. My goal for the future is protect the village with all that I am and to try to become the Hokage. After that I plan to spend the rest of my life with the ones I love. Both girls blushed again. Kurenai clapped her hands to get their attention. Well, now that's all over with, I have some good news and bad news. The good news is that the Hokage said that you will become a team no matter what. The bad news is that you still have to participate in our test. It won't matter if you pass or fail. This test is just for me and Anko to get a grasp of your skills. Any questions? The three genin shook their heads and stood up, ready for anything their new teachers would throw at them. Anko got a sadistic gleam in her eye. She pulled out a kunai and spoke in a creepy fashion. Let's get started, Gakis. Thanks for watching. Also remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.